Now entering the atmosphere of Planet Zero. Scanning for signals. Incoming broadcast. Shift destination. CSS page journal. Begin transmission.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
Dennisons and Denna-don'ts. What's up?
Hey,
How
everybody.
we doing?
It is me, Erik, and welcome today, our guest co-host today, our friend Christian.
So we're bringing back the fact that I am just a guest host, huh? Despite
welcome back, man.
being on every episode that's been put out.
Well, we were shorthanded on guests, so
I'm not overstaying my welcome, am I?
Oh, no. Of course not.
I feel like a guest host who's been a guest host for like 18 episodes at a certain point. It's like,
once we get to the big 3-0, we'll talk about a promotion, okay?
Okay, that's what we hit 30 episodes and I get tenure. Is that what it is?
Well, it's you get the application to become a permanent member, okay? And then it has to go through a review and how that can take on for like a couple weeks. Well, it's me.
Okay.
And
The creature?
no, he's still waiting for his. Don't tell him that
The creature's been on 30 episodes?
Yeah, don't tell him that I lost his application. Okay. So all right, come back, everybody. The book club from Planet Zero.
Good to see you guys. We took a break last week.
Yeah, sorry, I broke my leg.
We're not great at communicating, but we're going to be taking about 1 week off every month to just allow ourselves to catch up on reading. And just, other stuff out in the space world. We're dealing with brainworms. We're dealing with parasitic beanies that turn people into Blue Man.
Yeah.
We're dealing with doppelgangers. We're dealing with accidentally... Look, peek behind the curtain. The last time we sent Clay home, turns out we teleported him directly in the path of an elephant, and now he's half man, half elephant.
Yeah, so... Hey, Clay, I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, man. I just feel bad because he's got really bad allergies, so he's got a bunch of junk in that trunk. Welcome back, everybody. This week, me and Erik took another dive into the DC graphic novel world, and we both read Blue and Gold by Jurgen Suk, Hamner, and Maguire.
What does that say? Dan Jurgen. So, everybody,
the guy who made the lotion.
Put on your snorkel gear because we're going for the deep dive.
Yep, get your sock ready and your lotion handy.
What?
Because we're about to churn out some quality goo.
I like that. that was good. All right,
I made a bunch of masturbation jokes.
Yeah. That's my weakness.
A good one.
That's my weakness, Christian.
Masturbation jokes.
You should do that more on your stand-up.
I did do masturbation jokes on. Remember when you were the mic you were at on Friday? I did like 4 jerking off jokes on a bus.
I know, right?
Remember?
And you won.
And I did win. I did win $30 because I did that. There's a lady in the front row of that show who looked so unpleasant.
Oh my God! Yeah.
She looked so unhappy at me the
all
entire
the comedians
time.
were like picking them out because they're like, "Oh yeah, we're getting married," and like so.
She's always there, but there was another lady who I'd never seen before, and she looked like she was in her like late 40s with her husband there, and every time I did a punchline, her face just coiled up, and I was like, "Oh, this lady hates me," and I'm just up there like, and that's why I like masturbating on a bus, and she's just like, "What the?"
I'm pretty sure like every comedian, she was like not enjoying.
I think she enjoyed. There was someone I thought she enjoyed, but then like I went up. I don't know. It was a fun night. That room's always fun. But Blue and Gold is Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. It's a 8-issue miniseries that came out in 2001, ran until about 2022, and we read the trade paperback.
Yeah,
you actually have it fresher in your mind than I do. So can you run down
the basic plot lines and everything?
Yeah.
So Booster Gold and Blue Beetle at this point in their careers are pretty they're pretty washed up right now. They've been like They were part of the Justice League, but now they're kind of out of the Justice League.
Justice League International.
They were it was called the International at the time.
The International team.
So so the story starts off with the Justice League being kidnapped by some aliens, and Booster Gold's there to save the day, but he's live streaming and he's more concerned about talking to viewers and getting some subscribers and getting their donations and looking good for the camera.
Yep. Can I just say something? Booster in this comic book, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, the dynamic, I'm Booster Gold and you're Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Because Booster Gold is like live streaming and he's like, this is how we get fans, Ted. And Ted's like, can we focus on making sure our friends don't die right now?
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be live streamed. And I'm just like, but people are going to love this.
So Blue Beetle comes in. Skeets signals Blue Beetle come help, and Blue Beetle's like, oh, okay, I can come help. And he literally saves the day by hacking into he sneaks into the ship, hacks into it, and just disables everything. And
saves the day.
Yeah, saves the day. The Justice League's all like, wow, Blue Beetle, we want you to be on the team again. Yeah. And he's like, wow, me and Booster? That's awesome,
my best buddy Booster getting back on the Justice League.
Ooh, see,
yeah, Wonder Woman's like...
Actually, that's Wonder Woman's mom, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, at that point, I think she's running Themyscira, and her mom is actually the current Wonder Woman in the Justice League.
A MILF that gets it done, huh?
MILF that gets it done. That's a T-shirt right
got
there.
MILF? No.
Maybe.
Diana got MILF? She throws the lasso around me.
That's my mom.
I start expositing why I have trouble with women. I'm like, I have an inferiority complex. No.
So Booster Gold denies the entry, and
because they're like, no, it's just you, or it's not. It's only you or none of you. And then Ted Cord is like, damn, dude.
Ted Cord goes on this speech like, no, man, it's either us or none of us. And they're like, okay, well,
okay, see you.
We're not gonna force you to join us. But
you don't have superpowers. It's not like a big deal.
Well, his mind is still good. He's a good hacker. He's a good
but they got Batman.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I can help. I can help too.
Blue Beetle, man.
Well, he's not. Well, Blue Beetle. Batman's not always doing the computer stuff. So they decide to join together to form Blue and Gold Restoration Project.
Hell yeah, dude!
Which is like, I guess.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
For those listeners who are familiar with Marvel, the Blue and Gold Restoration is basically the Heroes for Hire. Power Man and Iron Fist idea. They open up a private investigation office that is two superheroes offering superhero help to people in need. Now, in this one, they aren't accepting payment, whereas, Power Man and Luke Cage, up front, they usually ask for payment, and then because they're superheroes, eventually are like, you don't need to pay us, we're good guys. But Blue and Gold are literally doing it as charity work, right?
It's free, but they're also promoting, like, hey, you want to, we're doing this great thing, and if you want to help us keep doing these great things, please support our crowdfunding cause. And it's like, the whole point is like, hey, if you have like a problem that like normal superheroes will not like go help you with, we'll listen to anything.
Or if they don't believe you.
Yeah, if no one believes you and you just need help with anything, we'll just anything.
Yeah, our door is open to you guys.
Which is pretty cool. It's a good concept.
They get a pirate who shows up.
There's a pirate who's like, I need treasure.
There's an astronaut in full astronaut gear who's like, I left my wallet on the moon. Which is like, why would you bring your wallet on the moon? And then how did it fall out of your spacesuit? There's a lot of questions.
Wait, why do you need your wallet in space?
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
And then there's these two green aliens that go, it's very funny.
And Brewster's like, what?
But the problem is, DC fans would know that Ted Cord is a millionaire and runs his own company, but at this point in the series, he's been kind of like...
This actually, you know what this follows?
What's up?
This follows Suicide Squad Bad Blood.
Yeah?
Remember?
Oh, yeah,
Remember,
he
makes references. That's why
they mentioned Black Mask in this.
Yeah, that's why he's defamed. So me and Erik also read a story. Maybe we can do a deep dive next week on this. Since we both read it, we can just reread it.
Yeah.
But Suicide Squad Bad Blood is a modern Suicide Squad run that came out in like 2020.
I will say... if you're looking for a Suicide Squad story, it's not going to focus on the squad very much. There is Deadshot and Harley in there, but it's mostly focusing on this other team called the Revolutionaries, which is still pretty good. It's still pretty good. And they were on the squad.
But I will say, if you do like the Suicide Squad and you do want to get to know Deadshot and Harley, or at least Deadshot, it does do some good character development for Deadshot in that series. Because it goes over his relationship with his daughter, and like it I think it's a good. like comics, characters they have their own status quo for so long, right? Like Moon Knight is a guy with multiple personalities who has a girlfriend named Marlene, right? And then his next status quo update is like the modern day Moon Knight, where like all of his friends are estranged. He's by himself. He's addicted to pills. And then like the next one is like he has a daughter, and like they keep updating the character with new information.
Oh, Moon Knight has a daughter?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
If you kept reading it, you'd know that.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
But like I think it gets some good Floyd Lawton
Yes.
updates. And in that story, spoiler alert, Blue Beetle is the villain.
Yeah.
But then it's revealed later that it's actually Black Mask,
Who apparently has like a
holographic disguise.
yeah, like more. He has a morph ability. He can.
Well, it's isn't it like a holographic disguise thing? Like he's like
I don't
he's
think they ever-
projecting the image.
I think so. I don't think they explained it very well. He just changed his image, and because he turned himself into Superman for a second to fool the squad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a holographic image. I forget what they're called, but like they use them in X-Men to hide Kurt's power.
So
and they do stuff like that all the time in Marvel.
So for the whole like series, you think Blue Beetle is like the bad guy and gets the
and the entire time the real Blue Beetle is being held hostage by Black Mask, unbeknownst to anyone, and Black Mask is running the Cord Industries. Remember?
Yeah. So because of Black Mask, Blue Beetle's fame went down.
Yep, he gets kicked out of Cord Industries.
Yeah, he had one more chance to make this device, but it flopped. And the committee kicked him out of his own corporation that his dad built.
Yep.
So he's completely out of money, and this was after Booster Gold was all like, here's this idea for a restoration project. We just need your money, Ted, to get it started. And he's like, I don't know if I can do that, Booster. And he's like, no, yeah, you're rich. You can get it done. And he's like, okay, I'll try. And then he goes to the board meeting. They tell him how much he sucks and how much you're like not doing anything for the corporation. Your devices don't work. And then Ted Cord's like, hey, I kind of need some money.
They're like, dude, get out.
And they get out. And then as he's getting fired, he looks at his phone and Booster Gold's giving the announcement.
Oh, yeah. Booster went ahead and announced that they're doing it anyways because he's like, my buddy's got my back.
I know. And he's like, I got to call him Skeet. Please tell him to stop. And Skeet's like, I'm sorry, Ted.
You know how he gets.
You know how he gets when he's excited.
So even without the money, they try to get it open, right? Oh, well, so the aliens actually come back.
Well, before that, the alien. Well, the side plot. Well, I guess it's the main plot.
It's the main plot because they kick off the thing.
The aliens that try to attack the Justice League in the beginning are we don't know. The name doesn't matter, but the princess name is Princess Omnizon, and she claims that like tens of thousands years ago, like 70,000 years ago,
before humans were on the planet.
Yeah, humans were on the planet. They just weren't evolved yet. Yeah. They were just cavemen. So they planted a tracker underneath the dirt and claimed like, this is our land. And then they flew off and then like forgot it was there. Like, cause Earth is like at the edge of their galaxy conquest or whatever. So they're coming back claiming it's theirs. And they're like, wait a minute. You can't just do that. You can't just come to a nation where like people are underdeveloped and like put your flag into it. And then
you can. That's
called
colonialism.
The entire time, Ted Cord's all like, "Hey, well, we kind of do that. It's fair.
We've been doing that all of history." They kind of just showed up and was like, "You guys got a flag?" And then the cavemen were like, "Oonga boonga," and they were like, "No flag, no planet. Sorry, this planet's ours, little monkey men."
Yeah. So now the Princess Omnizon, who's
because the initial attack fleet got beaten down, she shows up and is like, I rule you guys. Stop resisting me.
Yeah, this is literally my land. But like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, because they were the one that took down the main ship that was going to take the Justice League away.
Yeah.
So now she has a vendetta on them.
Yep. And they beat her up. They don't beat her up. They teleport her into what, South America?
Yeah, that's what they kept doing for a while.
Yeah,
they just had to like, all right, let's just get her out of here. And
she's like a super strong alien with like laser weapons, and they're just two dorks, and they can't beat her, so they just keep teleporting her across the world.
Yeah,
which is messed up.
And then when they started the whole restoration project, they eventually get help from a Booster Gold character named Trix. I guess she's from the Booster Gold series, who gives them like a place to at least start their business. And here's a big ass line full of those random people we were talking about, like the pirate and the astronaut, the aliens, and then there she is in the line with them.
This comic really does that thing that comics don't do a lot of anymore. I remember reading comics as a kid, and there being a lot of pages with like it would be a group of characters, but each character was interesting and unique and funny and different.
Yeah,
and like it does it really well because there's like an old lady, there's a crazy person, there's a pirate, there's a couple of aliens,
a couple of fangirls who are actually fans of Blue Beetle.
It looks like Flex Mentallo is there, just like a strongman is there.
There's a girl asking for a cat out of a tree.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah. You want to take some look through it?
Maybe. And then also in that line is
our main villain. Princess Omnizon, just waiting in line to see them.
Yeah, she's like they're going down the line and they're asking them all why they're here, and she's like, I'm your queen. I rule this planet. What do you mean? Why am I here?
Why?
What the heck do you mean, my guy? So eventually they fight her again, right? Because she shows back up at the office. And then they send her. Do they even send her anywhere, or is this time they get captured this time, right?
Oh man,
no,
kind of goes
because this is them fighting outside the office.
Yeah,
and then they get Rip Hunter. Rip Hunter shows
Rip Hunter's
up.
In this.
Eric, can you tell us who Rip Hunter is? I think
Rip Hunter is a time traveling character in DC universe. Who appeared, I guess, during the Silver Age. I guess, but later on, it's revealed that he's the son of Booster Gold.
Well, dude, spoilers for this book,
bro. You see it coming. But
he's a Time Lord, right?
Yeah, he's a very famous Time Lord. Like if the Omnizons know, or they know who he is.
Yeah, they respect him.
Yeah, people respect the Time Lord, and he's trying. And even though he's a very like by the rules person, he's willing to.
Well, he's got to save Booster Gold because it's his dad.
That's my dad.
And if his dad dies before he's born, then he doesn't exist.
Yes,
because he's a Time Lord, so he needs to make sure that he lives. So Omnizoth takes
I always thought that was interesting because like Rip Hunter was first appeared in the DC universe before Booster Gold, and they put that into the canon that they're related. I think that's
they put that in this canon. DC and their continuity kind of hard to keep track of, kind of hard to understand. Like, where is Metropolis really?
Right? Hold on. Well, when we get back to my house, I'll show you my big board with all the lines.
I'll show you my big conspiracy map of where Metropolis and Gotham is in relation to Kansas and all these other places.
It's a mystery. That's the fun part, Christian. It could be wherever you want it to be.
I would like to know where it is in relation to the rest of the major cities in the world.
Fair. Yeah, don't worry. That's fair. I get that.
Because here's the thing: is like people will be like, "Oh, well, Gotham's just New York." It's like, no, New York exists in DC.
Yeah,
New York City is a place in DC. Just for some reason, instead of New York City having a superhero, it's this random.
Well, they're in New York City right now.
So
there are superheroes who are in New York City, but yeah, the Metropolis and Gotham are the big ones. Those are the big two. There's also Central City for Flash.
What is it? No, not
Coastal City for Green Lantern. I think.
Just call it L.A.
No, it's fun.
Just call it San Francisco.
No, it's fun. It's like when like comics make like a fictional country in like Asia or like the Middle East because they don't want to like evade an actual country. So I think it's kind of cool. Like, America has its own like fictional cities, fictional places.
But they don't do that in DC. They don't do that other thing in DC. They're like,
what?
Joker's Iran. He's the Iranian.
No, they make like, stuff like Kondak and like there's a bunch of other like Bane's country down there. Corto Maltese. Like
Corto Maltese is cool.
Yeah, so there's other places that they mention that they can't like use real places of, obviously.
But they can.
But I don't like. That's something that I don't like about Marvel. Like every superhero, a lot of superheroes are in New York City, and it gets like. Don't they like help each other sometimes? Which I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure there's team ups.
Yeah.
But then I feel like, here's this big baddie that Spider-Man like is in trouble with, like Kingpin. Like, where's Daredevil or like a Moon Knight can help them?
They're fighting in their neighborhood,
in their own little neighborhood.
Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, they break up the neighborhoods. Like Daredevil patrols Hell's Kitchen. Luke Cage patrols mostly Harlem.
Yeah, but how many heroes are in New York City?
Pretty much all of them.
There we go.
The X-Men move around quite a bit, but that's because they're chased around.
Where is the X-Manor?
It's upstate New York, so it's not New York City. It's upstate New York.
Oh, the nice place in New York.
Yeah. I think Winchester.
Okay.
I think it's in Winchester. I just like being able to be like, oh yeah, this guy. It's like it's rooted in reality. Like it's rooted in our world, right? Like Wakanda is a fictional country. Latveria is a fictional country.
Yeah.
Right. But like
Gorilla City.
Yeah. Yeah. But like it's just, I don't know. Like, when they do the fictional countries, it's because they want to do something fantastical. If they want a guy from South America who was raised in like a communist / like Cultural Maltese is, right? Like a militaristic regime, they're just going to use Cuba. Or they're going to use Nicaragua. Like, they're literally just going to be like, yeah, that's real history. It's not offending anyone to be like, at one point these countries were taken over by like communist dictators or like fascist regimes or something like that.
That's
which
fair.
I just think is like cool because it's like
that is cool.
Because then you retrospectively are like, okay, Tarantula, the Spider-Man villain, could he have been a Contra technically? Like, would he have been a Contra? Like, he came out around that time. But anyways, back to Blue and Gold. They get teleported to the alien planet where she brings them in front of her father.
Yeah, the king, the actual king.
She hypnotizes Booster Gold to fight Blue Beetle to the death.
Because that's how they get their kinks over there on that planet.
That's just what they like to do. And Rip Hunter's like, hey, I gotta go save my dad. And they're like, whoa, Blue Beetle's your dad? And he's like, no, Booster Gold.
No, I'm pretty sure Booster already knows at this point.
I don't think Booster doesn't know he's his dad.
No, he was all like, Rip, you're here?
Well, Booster knows Rip, but Booster doesn't know that Rip is his dad. He even says that. He's like, it's very important that he doesn't know he's my father.
Okay. All right. I probably missed that one.
Well, because if you know that you have, like, if Booster found out that he had Rip, he would try and, like, you're not supposed, like, the thing about time travel is you're not supposed to know things that happen, because even just knowing about things that happen will make you adjust the future, even if it's subconsciously.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the observation rule in science. Like, molecules will behave differently just because they're being observed.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Fun science.
Oh, look at my molecules. They're gonna change.
Fun science fact. But Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, they fight it out. Rip is all time traveling all over the place. Oh, yeah. Rip goes back in time to find the beacon.
Yes,
and then he removes the beacon.
Well, in order for him to not reveal that he messed with time, he made Trixie, or what's her name? Her name's Terry now. Yeah. Terry. He gave her control of the time sphere and like, hey, take this beacon somewhere else. So when he does confront the Omnizons know who they are, who he is, a very respectable Time Lord. And when he's telling them, hey, you have no authority to conquer Earth, you don't have that. And when they try to like interrogate him with the mind control, like, you will speak the truth. Did you take that beacon and move it? And he's all like, no, it wasn't me. It's actual true. You didn't put the beacon there. So without the beacon there, now they can just go home.
Yeah, and then that kind of wraps up the main story. The next couple issues just follow
the Black Beetle.
Well, it continues to follow Ted and Booster in their escapade of the Blue and Gold.
Yes, the restoration project. I like this little commercial in the beginning of that chapter. What's that farmer saying?
This farmer, he's saying, who braved the demons of darkness to restore my magic. Oh, that's a wizard. I'm sorry, I get wizards and
farmers mixed up.
Yeah, they look the same. They're usually just old dudes. Had them two varmints from Dimension X hiding in my barn. Who'd you think it was that ran them off? Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, of course. And then Jaime is here, being absolutely hentied by null effects.
Null effects.
Look at him. Look at all those tentacles he's got wrapped around him in his eyeballs.
Yeah.
Probably in one of his orifices.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the art change?
The art change?
Like this 90s style almost.
I don't mind it, honestly.
I like it. I think it's a neat art change. It's just a little jarring because it feels like it comes.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because look,
it's
old, the normal art that you're used to.
That's in the same issue too.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, how do you feel about it? It's like a little
the
jarring.
first couple pages are like, it's the old one. Oh my lord, you're right. It's such a drastic shift, but I don't mind it. It looks nice.
Right? I think it doesn't go back until the end of the issue either. But Booster Gold and Blue Beetle,
the two Blue Beetles,
they all team up to fight null effects. And then obviously they just hang out with. I like this because it's like I don't see these guys interact with Jaime a lot.
Yeah, so it's good to see that they're all like good buddies.
They're all buddies. And, they're all giving Jaime like advice and hanging out with him.
And Booster actually recruited him, say, "Hey man, two Blue Beetles are better than one." And Ted's like, "Hey man, I'm a Blue Beetle too."
He's like, "Yeah, but he's got the fucking cool ass scarab, dude.
But even Jaime was all like, "Look, I don't want to be confused with Ted Cord. I want to be my own thing."
Yeah,
and
he's like,
everything.
I don't want to be
Like,
tied up with you guys.
But if you guys need help, just call me.
Yeah,
Like, that's all it is.
I'm always here for you. And then Null Effects wasn't actually the big bad guy. His strings were being pulled by another villain from Earth 3.
Black Beetle.
The Black Beetle.
It's like the Blue Beetle, but his armor is black.
Yes. The blue on his arm is only cell shading. Don't get it twisted, comic book readers. Did you know that? Did you know that blue is a color that was used to shade black? And Spider-Man's original costume was actually black.
Wow.
Yeah. The blue shading confused people, and they made it, and some of the other artists after them.
So it was white and black, red and black?
It was red and black, and then shade it with blue. And so then later, people, like when they redid it, they made it blue.
It looked nicer. I think that's a good choice.
The blue works, yeah. And the same thing, like sometimes, like Venom, sometimes he's like a pale blue, right? That's because he's
I didn't read
painted all.
Venom comics, but
like
that's still cool.
remember, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
That's his like
He's
alternate
like blue,
skin.
like,
yeah.
remember he's like just pale blue, like that's just his main skin.
Yeah,
That's because
yeah.
you can't make an all black character because it doesn't look like you won't be able to notice the detail. So they shade in the detail of blue instead of black. So a lot of characters get misconstrued as blue when indeed their usually color scheme is just black, which is a fun little comic fact for people out there.
Cool little color fact too.
Cool,
you know,
cool color fact. But
I like
they
hearing
fight.
about that.
They fight Black Beetle, who you would think is an alternate universe Ted Cord.
But it turns out it's an alternate universe. Booster,
who lost his friend Ted Cord.
Yeah, and then he became evil and obsessed with getting Skeets, I guess.
Yeah. He wanted to get Skeets back or whatever.
Yeah.
But they beat him. They kick his butt like they do every villain. It's not that notable.
They take him. Yeah, they take him. Like, they kind of transported him back to the dinosaur time. They fight around dinosaur era, so they pushed him into some black tar.
Yeah, he dies in a tar pit.
Hey,
Not that notable. Whatever. Look at him.
Oh my God, Blue Beetle. What's that dinosaur called? A Triceratops? Blue Beetle coming in with a Triceratops, like mountain one, and fucking rammed.
That is a tattoo right there, though.
Oh, that's a happy Blue Beetle face. I like that.
This is a tattoo.
He's usually sad the whole time.
Drinking a couple of
beers.
Budweisers.
Oh, that's right. Because they're in the dinosaur times, and Blue Beetle's all like, "Wow, I never did see dinosaurs all the time." And then Booster, who travels time all the time, is like, "Oh well, I mean, I see it all the time."
You want to have
like,
a gold one, buddy?
He's like, "Yeah," but Blue Beetle's like, "Can we stay and watch?" So at the end of the series, as much as
they're about to shut down because they ran out of money.
As successful as the restoration project is, like helping people out and everything, they just couldn't get enough crowdfunding to keep it going, keep the staff and support going. But out of nowhere, here comes Batman coming in. Was all like, "Hey, I like what you guys are doing. So here, take this flash drive," and they put it in a computer. It's freaking a bunch of money. I think like $5 million.
$20 million.
$20 million.
$20 million
I'm so
from
happy
Bruce
for
Wayne.
him.
And Batman's like, yeah, he's pretty cool, that Bruce Wayne.
That Bruce Wayne's a pretty cool
really
guy.
He's so cool. He's got a good hairline. I hear that he's got a pretty big wiener.
I recommend you guys buying the new Wayne Station 4.
I know they voted you out of the Justice League, but I voted for you guys to beat it because I like you guys. You guys are cool, and I like what you're doing here. Keep it up. Anyways, I gotta get back to Gotham.
By the way, subscribe to Wayne Book.
Yeah, don't forget the next Wayne Tech phone coming out next year.
Wow, I can't believe Batman and Bruce Wayne are friends.
Bruce Wayne are buddies. Yeah, he's like my closest friend.
Jugheads.
He probably knows me better than anyone. It's pretty cool. He lets me hang out on his yacht. It's like Batman. Like Superman's like, Bruce, what the fuck are you doing?
Bruce, tone it down a little bit.
What the fuck are you doing? We know who you are.
Well, I guess in this point, they still don't know.
But
exactly.
yeah, this is a fun little. If you guys, we talked a lot about Justice League International, and my two favorite characters from International are probably Mr. Miracle and Oberyn. But if I didn't have to say those guys, it would be Booster Gold and Ted Cord.
Yeah, they were really like.
You
don't
really
like the best friends.
You don't like Ted Cord in International. You think he's annoying.
Sometimes, like I told you before, there's this character trope in like the '80s where like they have to have that one character who's always has to say something sarcastic and
or
a one-liner, and it's like it's fine every couple of panels, but sometimes he does it way too much. I'm like, Ted, calm down.
Sometimes, Eric, looking into a mirror can be quite jarring, can it?
I know. I see the blue.
I see the beetle in me.
Yeah, so I like this. It's a fun little buddy romp.
Yeah.
If after reading like Fire and Ice and seeing that not done well, the buddy comedy, this one does it pretty well.
That's because these are dude friends.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but speaking of blue, right? You're continuing your trek on Annihilation, right?
Oh yeah,
and who's
Creep.
blue? But the
Ronan
Creep.
the Accuser.
Ronan the
So
Accuser.
our next chapter, our next point of the
our next 4
Annihilation
issue
saga.
miniseries. Yep.
Is Ronan the Accused? Because he's
Ronan
not
the
accused. He's not accusing anymore.
I think the title technically is Annihilation Ronan.
Yeah.
Right? Like he doesn't have his subtitle
So
in the
all
title.
you MCU fanboys out there would know Ronan as the main antagonist of Guardians of the Galaxy, the Hammer dude.
That is correct, yeah.
Just like everybody else who watched MCU movies, I did not care about this guy with the
sucked.
hammer. Yeah.
He sucked in the movie.
He didn't really last impression. He
dumb.
was just the guy that they had a fight at the end. Which I'm not trying to
Look,
on,
here's the
but-
thing. James Gunn obviously pulled from Annihilation when he was making those movies. Like, and you'll continue to read Annihilation, and hopefully you'll want to continue into Annihilation Conquest, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about James Gunn pulling from these comics for these movies. But for some reason, he didn't want like Ronan. He just made into a jobber, which makes me sad. He just turned Ronan into the first movie jobber.
Yeah, they had.
Come on, that's what he did.
What would you? Okay, would you have if you had to choose a villain for that movie? What do you think would be a better choice than Ronan? Just wondering what your opinion would be.
So instead of Ronan for Guardians 1, because here's the thing: what is Ronan doing in Guardians 1? He's Thanos' lackey.
Yeah,
there's so many Thanos lackeys. Shit, I would have gotten the Blood Brothers.
Yeah, you know
the Blood Brothers, or Lunatic, or what's his name? Pybok. Like I would have gotten any of those guys. Like Ronan, I would have saved for later, but I get that they're not. They're not very good.
But he has a big hammer, so that means he can fight them.
He's got a big hammer which he could put the power gem in, and then it makes the hammer stronger than it already was. Because it was already a pretty big hammer, but now it's got the power gem in it. So now the hammer's like strong enough to destroy a planet. Fucking, I hate you, Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige, if you're listening to this, that's why God took your hairline.
And
Anyways,
please come on our podcast.
Yeah, please. You're welcome anytime, Kevin.
We call you Kevin?
Shut up. But this is probably fresher in your mind than it is mine. I reread it a few weeks ago, but let's just get it out of the way. It's not that memorable of a storyline.
Yeah, to be honest, the story itself is not that memorable. Everything that Ronan did, it's
fucking cool.
Because I remember I looked at this guy and I was like, Christian, this guy better. I see his hammer. I'm like, Christian, this guy better be smashing something in the first 3 pages. Because if he doesn't, I'm putting it down and skipping all the way to the Silver Surfer series. And to my surprise, he didn't smash anything, but he did point his hammer at something and a lot of crazy shit. And I thought that's cool.
Well, also, no, it wasn't that he didn't smash anything, but he pointed his hammer. It was that he showed up to an alien planet, and he was just like, there's a problem here. Like some lady was like, you killed my daughter. You killed our daughter.
Hey, this guy. Yeah, there's a dispute going on in the street between this mother-in-law and her son-in-law.
Yeah.
They're like, because that guy killed her daughter and is demanding retribution and everything. And then here comes Ronan, I shall be the judge, jury, and executioner of this. And he drags the guy into a stadium and tells him did you kill this woman? He's like, hell yeah, I killed that woman. I'll do it again. And all right, you are accused.
You are accused. And then he points his hammer at him,
and a bunch of fucking lizards came out and ate him.
Yep.
And then immediately after that, Ronan's guy was all like, hey, why'd you do that? Actually, that guy had every right to kill that woman. It was by the laws of the planet. And he's like, nonsense. Any land that the Kree steps his foot on is Kree law. And I'm like that's awesome. I support that.
Oh, actually, no, the mother-in-law was like, I was angry, but I never wanted to. And he's like, look, judgment has been passed.
Judgment has been passed.
And then he just continues on his trek. So Ronan at this point is looking for
Tana Niles. I think
Tana Niles, who lied in a testimony during a coup with House Ferrio. Yeah. This is all information you guys don't need to know. Yeah, Ronan is a big blue alien wearing green robes, and he got a fat ass hammer.
You got to also mention that he's usually known as Ronan the Accuser, but at this point in his life,
Ronan the Accused.
He's accused. It's kind of like a Gandalf White and Gandalf Gray kind of situation.
Remember
Tolk, that lumpy green guy that gets eaten by the end.
He gets eaten by the Annihilation Wave. And also he betrays Ronan.
Yeah, so...
But Ronan's looking for this... what's her name again?
Tenna Niles.
Tenna Niles, who is hanging out with Gamora on this planet.
Yeah, this planet full of refugees, I guess. I don't know. But he meets a bunch of other Kree who have also been banished, and they kind of ask for his help. And he's like, oh, I got to do my own thing. But then he finds out that Tenna Niles is working for Gamora, who is like...
Who these guys have been fighting off.
Yeah, she's like trying to take over this planet with her Graces, which is a bunch of female warriors. So Nebula's there, and I bet you know some other female warriors in that crowd, I bet.
Stellaris.
Yeah, I don't know. I only knew Nebula.
Look, Nebula and Gamora are the two big important ones.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
And this is sexy Gamora, too. This is when she's literally just wearing, like...
There was I'm not complaining, but there were so many ass shots of her.
Dog. What do you mean you're not complaining? You're praising, right?
It was a nice boy.
Here's a peek behind the scenes, everyone. And I'm not particularly proud of this, but in my phone, there is a photo album titled Marvel Mommy Milkers.
Oh, come on.
And it's just a bunch of screenshots of me reading digitally on my phone of just hot, like, gratuitous, like, fan service.
That's a lot of boob shots, buddy.
It's just all the boob shots that they put in comics, and it's. I did it ironically.
You know what, man? I have the same thing.
There's just so many, dude.
But mine's ass shots.
That's fair. There's a lot of Red She-Hulk in here. I'll be honest with you. There, this one isn't really a mommy milker as much as it's She-Hulk just looking savage as hell, dude.
It's just a cat fight going on right there. Yeah. Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk versus Green She-Hulk.
There's also Glorian subplot, the Shaper of Worlds. That freak.
I didn't like that at all. He just showed up for a reason. I even like went back and tried to find out why he was there, and it didn't really explain it that well. I was like, well, yeah, that's like another reason why the story was not that memorable. Just look at that ass shot, man. Like the artist really wanted to draw Gamora from behind so many times.
But look at Ronan. Though.
I'm saying it's bad art, but you know,
the art is actually. I like the style a lot.
Yeah, I like how beefy these Kree guys look, especially Ronan.
Yeah, and Korath is there.
I don't know who that is, but I guess he just...
That's the guy in the red.
Yeah, he's just Ronan's friend. Does Korath make any other appearances?
Yeah, he's important. He's like Ronan's like second in command, basically. Like his brother. Yeah. They're like sworn Kree brothers. But yeah, this basically we can boil this like this. I think it's the weakest.
It is the weakest plot, but like out of all the characters I've seen so far, but like between Nova and Drax, Meg
Ronan's your favorite?
Ronan's my favorite.
That's kind of cool. I like that. Ronan gets a really cool arc following out of this event.
Then maybe I'll read that.
Like, no, seriously, no. You need.
Or is it part of the Annihilation? Or?
So Annihilation flows into Annihilation Conquest, and all the characters from Annihilation who survive go into Annihilation Conquest, and Ronan is one of those characters.
He survived. You spoiler it.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy happens right after Annihilation Conquest, and that, you know, he's not in Guardians of the Galaxy as much, but here, minor spoiler for Guardians of the Galaxy, the end of the Guardians book, the team disbands because a key player dies, and the rest of the team doesn't stay together. And the guy who died was like, oh, I have a contingency because the galaxy needs their guardians. And he pulls together Ronan the Accuser, Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, and I think, is that everyone? Who am I missing here?
Well, that's a good team up so
far.
It is.
And they're called the Annihilators. I remembered who I'm missing, but I don't want to tell you who it is.
The Annihilators versus they stopped the Annihilation.
Basically, because Ronan's one of the strongest characters in the universe. Silver Surfer's one of the strongest characters in the universe. Beta Ray Bill is one of the strongest characters in the universe. So he just gets all the powerhouses together and is like, "Look,
of the universe, man.
Yeah, we need you guys to protect the galaxy."
Does Beta Ray Bill at this point has what kind of weapon does he have? The Mjolnir?
Stormbreaker.
Okay,
I believe Stormbreaker is his weapon. He has that. But yeah, this is the weakest one. I don't really have a lot to say. The action scenes are really cool.
It's a little.
You get some good background.
It's a little too much fighting happening.
Yeah, it's a lot of fighting. It's a lot of Ronan and Gamora just fighting.
Yeah, this planet is just so much like conflict going on.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the Annihilation comes in, which is even a bigger conflict. Just engulfs all that crap.
No, seriously, I think this series does a good job of like illustrating that all these characters have their own shit going on, and the Annihilation Wave doesn't care. Like it's the thing of like when people play D&D and they're like, how do I get my players to play the main quest? They don't want to do the main quest. It's like your main quest should still be happening if the players are engaging with it or not.
Yeah, put it in Annihilation.
The bad guy's plan should still be happening. Just because the players haven't shown up to the castle where he's doing a plot doesn't mean the plot waits for them to show up. Like if they're supposed to stop a sacrifice but they never go check it out, the sacrifice happens. A demon is summoned.
Yeah, just imagine like your characters were supposed to like be. Imagine
this
being
is a D&D
DM
podcast now.
Yeah, imagine being a DM and you tell your party they have to go to a different town, and then they're like, no, let's just keep fucking around for a little bit. And you're like, okay, go ahead. And then a couple sessions later, when they actually do go to that town, it's dead. It's gone.
Destroyed. It's gone. Because the Annihilation Wave got it. That's basically what's going on. Like Ronan's so caught up with trying to get revenge on this person and then trying to fight Gamora that he...
Gamora is the Tana Niles is working under Gamora.
Yeah.
So that's why he has to fight her.
Yeah.
But when
the Gamora's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, him and Gamora fight, which is a good fight. I actually like that fight. But then the Annihilation happens, and then they're scrambling.
Well, the Annihilation Wave reaches to where they are because this is at this point, I believe
they're scrambling to save their comrades or whatever.
This is when the Annihilation Wave reaches them, and it's like Korath and him fighting, and Gamora starts helping. That's Annihilation Day 99.
What the damn 90 days and still
99 days, and it's still happening. Because they're just kind of going through space, taking planet after planet.
And eventually Ronan did meet up with Tana Niles, but because the Annihilation bugs were infiltrated Gamora's fortress, she got fucking badly wounded. And she can only like confess like a little bit. Like give him like a... There she is. I love that face. You'll see it on our social media pages.
Yeah, we'll post it.
I'm definitely going to post that.
This one's better.
Let me see. Because she's crying and dead. I like. Oh my god! Was Tana Niles even like a character beforehand?
I don't know. And I don't care. She's that same big-headed race of the. Remember the we were talking about Nova Corps? Yeah, she's the same race as them.
Is it racist to think that was the same character? No.
A little bit.
No, I'm sorry.
Dude, this is a sick fucking. Ready? And
Ronan has some good poses on there. The hammer, dude. I love the hammer, dude. Because I like characters that smash things. So when I saw the hammer, I expected some smashing, but I got something even better. Because he doesn't really need a smash. He just got to point the big ass hammer somewhere, and some blue energy comes out.
Yeah, I will say, Glorian does have one purpose in this, and he kills the entire Annihilation Wave.
That's the creator guy, right?
Yeah, he has like cosmic creation power.
Okay,
so he's like super strong in terms of like powerhouse, but he just like
I guess he was only there just to stop a wave.
He was trying to rebuild the world that he was on in his image,
which is kind of cool. But because like it didn't need to happen.
Yeah, nobody was paying attention.
No one was really paying attention to that. It was a pretty cool thing where like this dumb, like poor planet, all of a sudden a wave of energy goes around them, and all of a sudden everyone's dressed nice. There's big buildings everywhere, and I thought that was cool. But then the Annihilation came over, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? This has no purpose. And you also kidnapped two other characters that also played. I feel like it's kind of goes all.
There's
over the place.
A lot of stuff going on in this, but not not super notable in my opinion. Outside of the Ronan fights and like Ronan eventually, because what happens is Ronan and Gamora team up out of necessity.
Yeah. So I think what happened was when the creator did that big shockwave that killed a bunch of bugs around him, that gave Ronan some time to like, all right, let's talk to this chick and And I guess that gave him some breathing room to like hatch some stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the only reason why the creator was on this planet was we need to stop the bugs for a little bit so Ronan can finish up his plot.
Now you're going to Super Skrull next.
I thought it was Silver Skrull.
It's Super Skrull.
Oh, I thought it was Silver Surfer. But hey, the Super Skrull. Yeah. Hey, that was my guy from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I think.
Yeah, I will say that I don't enjoy the Super Skrull book as much as I enjoy the Ronan book. Yeah, I know what that sounds like, but the Super Skrull book does more to give background information to the Annihilation event. Like you,
It's exposition.
There's a lot of exposition that's important to the Annihilation event. There's a lot of information that you get about the Annihilation wave. You get a lot of interaction with the Annihilation. Like the bugs actually start having dialogue.
Oh, they've been talking, but it's only just the
like,
king and the queen, or the second command.
You get a little more.
Cool.
You get a little more interaction.
So these bugs actually do have more personality.
Like the high ranking ones do. The
Okay.
low ranking ones don't. But like you get to meet you get to meet a scientist from the Annihilation wave, and it's like they have scientists.
Wait, these guys are actually sophisticated and have a society? I thought they were just warmongering bugs.
Yeah, me too. And then like there's some cool Skrull subplots, and I like it. It's neat, but I just don't enjoy it as much as I.
You just hate Super Skrull because that one guy kept fighting against you online in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
It's not that, Eric. It's not that, Eric.
Kept using the Super Skrull.
I was at a tournament and he kept spamming the stretchy punches.
I wanted to play as the Human Torch, but then they got rid of him and put in the Super Skrull.
No.
Yeah.
So next week we'll be going over the Super Skrull miniseries. Hey, is it time for Villain of the Week? Who did you have prepared this week?
My Villain of the Week is Ronan the Accuser.
Eric, did you not prepare a Villain of the Week?
Of course I did, man. I read Ronan miniseries to prepare myself for this Villain of the Week.
Well, 2 birds with 1 stone is what I always say.
There we go.
All right, moving on to the next segment. What have you been reading lately, dude?
I've been reading. I've been trying to get into like the DC main storyline.
Yeah.
Only because like you keep talking shit about it, and I have nothing.
And you have nothing.
I have nothing to defend it
because it's so confusing.
Well, it's also because I mostly just read like individual stories.
Yeah.
I don't really read it. I haven't read events because I've been mostly into like reading up on characters and their stories, and so now I'm trying to get back into that. I only read Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was a good series, but now I'm jumping into Infinite Crisis, and I bought that big book with all the tie-ins here. I didn't want that just the 6th series Infinite. No, I got to get all the shabam, which was a good idea because like
there's a lot of background information.
I read Identity Crisis, and it goes right into like Infinite Crisis. Like a lot of like stuff that happened in Identity Crisis is reason why some like the OMAC project and the countdown to Infinite Crisis is linked to that story. So
nice.
I thought that was pretty cool. If you don't know Identity Crisis,
you should, because you're a fan of the podcast and we're a big fan of it here.
And you're a fan of Dr. Light, which is messed up.
Yeah, don't be a fan of Dr. Light, Doc. Come on.
Only the female one.
Yeah.
So if you know that Batman got his mind wiped by the Justice League, which they eventually, because they had a memory wipe Dr. Light because he sexually assaulted Sue Dibney.
Not Jean Loring. Sue Digby.
Yeah, Sue Digby.
Sorry.
So they had to lobotomize him because he was about to like tell everybody like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell all the villains what I did here," and like, fuck, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, he went back to the secret society and was like, "You guys know where you can get some sweet ass."
So they mind wipe. So they use Zatanna to mind wipe Dr. Light, so he doesn't
Batman
do anything.
is against.
Yeah, Batman showed up at that moment, right, and started to attack. Was about to attack them until they froze him, and they kind of like, dude, we can't unfreeze Batman because he's gonna kick our ass.
Yeah.
So let's just mind wipe the last couple seconds of what he saw. And when they eventually like, because they felt bad about it, they eventually told him like, hey, we had to do this to your mind, and he got really pissed off. So he doesn't like it when people like touch it with his mind. He's like,
he doesn't like not knowing things.
Yeah, he's like,
he's all about information.
In the book he's like, my mind is like the only thing that I don't want people to touch. It's like my greatest strength, and the fact that they touched it and warped with it really pissed him off. So he created this computer AI called Brother Eye, and it's supposed to just monitor every superhero. So now that he knows what they're going to do, in case they do something that he doesn't know, he got him on Brother Eye.
Yeah.
But Max Lord takes control of. They hijacks Brother Eye, and it's like a really good series. It's a really good like leading up to Infinite Crisis.
It's that writing trope of like, oh, we need to make sure that we know everything that's going on, and then it's like the bad guys now have access to it.
Yeah,
like,
idiots,
fucking morons. Did you think it was a good idea to give everyone like a satellite?
Yeah, so the stakes are high because but Max Lord has control of all the OMACs, the one-man army corps, which is just like human civilians that have no idea they got injected with nanobots.
Sleeper cells.
Yeah, they're sleeper cells, and they kind of activate it. They turn into these robots, and they got to go they can eliminate all the Justice League members, all the meta. They're trying to get the metahumans. That's what it is. Anybody with superpowers.
He wants to get rid of them.
Yeah, not like Ted Kord or Batman or none of that.
Because they don't have superpowers.
Yeah, he thinks they can be useful to humans, even though Blue Beetle's all like, dude, you're a fucking cuck, man. You have superpowers. You're using superpowers on me right now. He's like, well, I'm different.
Yeah, and then he shoots him in the head.
That's sad. Yeah,
Rest
we just talked
Ted.
about Blue Beetle, and now
he
dies. Oh,
and
yeah.
that's when Booster Gold becomes Black Beetle. No,
that's when Jaime comes in.
That's Solar 3. No, yeah. So that sounds cool.
Oh man, it's really good. Yeah, I can't wait to keep reading it.
That's neat. I picked back up an old favorite of mine when I started reading comics back in like 2011. One of the comics that I was reading as it came out was Rick Remender's Venom. Venom. Yeah, that's where high school bully Flash Thompson becomes Venom.
Hey.
And he becomes Agent Venom, and he's got he looks very militaristic, and he's got like a bulletproof vest type look and stuff, and he's got guns, and
Venom's
he kills
wearing
people.
Is Venom wearing that stuff?
No. It's all the suit, like it's all the symbiote making him look like that. Here, I'll show you a picture of him. But I like that story a lot. It deals a lot with so Flash is Peter Parker's high school bully.
He could be villain of the week.
He's Peter Parker's high school bully.
Bullies count as villains in my book.
He is Peter Parker's high school bully who idolizes Spider-Man. Let me finish the sentence.
I like that.
He idolizes Spider-Man so when he leaves high school, instead of taking a football scholarship, he goes and joins the army, and in the army he becomes a corporal, and to save his platoon, he loses his legs.
Oh,
yeah, he loses his legs below the knee, and he comes back home, and he's like a cripple alcoholic. And then,
what are you looking at, Penis Parker?
And then Shield is like, "Hey, you want to be Venom?"
What? They have Venom?
Yeah, they have the Venom symbiote, and they're like, "You want to be Venom?"
I can imagine like they're coming up with like they trap Venom in like a glass tube, and he's just like running around in there trying to escape. Like, hey, you want this inside your body?
No, it's not inside. It's on.
Well, on your body, I guess.
I'm trying to find a good picture of him, but yeah. So he goes and he does missions for the U.S. government, and he runs into some villains, and then he gets to keep the suit as long as he can keep it on. Oh, they sedate it too. They sedate the suit with like a serum so that he's always in control.
Is Nick Fury there telling him about it?
Nick Fury at this time, 2011. I don't know if he's made his return yet. I have to recheck that.
Is it Black Nick Fury or White Nick Fury?
I think in 2011 it would have been White Nick Fury. I think Nick Fury Jr. comes in like 2013, maybe 14.
Nick Fury Jr.
Do you know about Nick Fury Jr.?
You told me once, but let's get a little refresher for the audience. So for people who only watch the MCU.
All right, kids, buckle up. So many of us know that Samuel L. Jackson plays Nick Fury in the MCU, and some of you may know that he does that because in the comics in like 2003 or 4, the Ultimate Comics modeled their character after Samuel L. Jackson, because they were like, wouldn't it be cool if Samuel L. Jackson was Nick Fury? Cut to Iron Man 1 in 2008. He makes a cameo as Nick Fury.
Yeah.
You know, a couple movies later, an Avengers movie after that, people are like, wait, who's this white guy in the comic books? So they need to make...
That was me with Green Lantern.
Yeah,
When I watched the Justice League cartoon, because Jon Stewart was my first Green Lantern, and then all of a sudden I see the movie with Ryan Reynolds comes out, I'm like, what is this?
That's Hal Jordan.
They whitewashed my boy. I didn't know.
They whitewashed him. Cancel him.
I was a dumb little like non-comic book fan at the time, so I was like, "What the fuck is Hal?"
I used to go to school, and kids used to be like, "Oh yeah, comic books are so cool, huh, Christian? Name 5 black comic book characters," and I'd be like, Green Lantern, Black Panther, Blade, Luke Cage, War Machine, and they'd be like, "Whoa, Blade's not a comic book character," and I'd be like. And I'd be like, dog, go watch that movie, and the first title card that shows up is going to be Marvel Comics.
And they come back to you the next day like, wow, Christian.
You're like, whatever, dude.
Whatever.
And I'm like, notice I didn't say Static Shock either. Like the the easiest of the choices.
Yeah.
You did it to me last night. You were like name 5 black comic Marvel characters.
And I said name 5 Asian, and you kind of stole after the third one. You eventually did the 5.
I got them all.
Well, you were on
Don't ask me about Hispanic characters in Marvel because I don't think I can name 5. Now I'm thinking about it. No, but
we'll do that next time.
Yeah. So, anyways, I've been rereading the Rick Remender series, and it's so good. He gets possessed by the devil. He stops the devil from taking over Las Vegas with the help of Red Hulk and X-23 and a Ghost Rider.
Venom takes on the devil.
Yeah, dude.
Like the devil.
Yeah, and he gets branded. He becomes like he becomes like a general of hell. It's fucking sick as shit. He joins the Secret Avengers. He eventually joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just, I don't know. I like Flash Thompson's.
Oh yeah, I like the idea of like bully characters becoming more than just the bully. He
loves
stereotype.
Spider-Man. There's a classic Spider-Man book that's really famous. It's an issue where it's either Venom or Dr. Octopus is attacking the school and like traps Peter in the school, like Spider-Man in the school. And they're like, we know you're in there, Spider-Man. Come out, reveal yourself. And they got him surrounded, right? And Flash Thompson is like, yo, I'm the head of your fan club, Spider-Man. I can put on your costume for you and you can get out of here and I'll reveal myself as a prankster to the cops and I'll get arrested. And he does
Flash.
that. Yeah, he does that for Spider-Man because he would never think that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He thinks Spider-Man's a hero and he looks up to him, but then he bullies Peter Parker.
Penis Parker.
In the Venom book, like in this 2011 book, it dives into Flash's psyche, and he was dealing with an alcoholic bully of a father, and that's why he was bullying Peter Parker, because he was afraid it made him feel powerful and in charge, and then he would look up to guys like Spider-Man because they were always in charge and powerful and helping people. So it's very ironic, and then he becomes Venom, and he has to fight Spider-Man, and it's very fun.
But they become friends, though, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
okay.
Spider-Man doesn't trust him because Spider-Man doesn't trust Venom, but they eventually hash it out, I think.
I'm a superhero. What about you,
and Peter
Parker?
And Peter Parker is friends with Flash. Peter Parker and Flash are friends.
Okay, at this point,
because Flash dates Betty Brant, who is friends with Peter Parker, because they worked at the Bugle together.
Oh, that's nice.
Spider-Man comics, they're just as rich as DC comics, just easier to follow because they have continuity.
I feel like Spider-Man and Batman, they work really well just because like their supporting cast is amazing. Their supporting cast and their villains, they're so iconic.
Yeah, dude.
That's what makes them so good.
What's the opposite of a bat? A clown. What's the opposite of a spider?
A goblin.
A goblin. 60s drugs must have been fucking cool as shit, dude. They were on Quaaludes when they were writing.
Stanley was all on that.
I miss bring Quaaludes. Hashtag let's bring Quaaludes back. No. Hashtag bring them back. Bring them back.
Oh, what a wild time for comics the 60s was. I heard like Marvel around that time was very like, because like the comic book fans grew up, became like heads of that company, and it was very like, even though it was a very creative time for Marvel, it was also very undisciplined, and like these things were getting done on time, and just like people weren't like respecting one another or their managers until Jim Shooter comes in. Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
And just freaking like demands deadlines, just demands all this stuff, and he gets a lot of crap from like the comic book writers and artists because like he's so demanding and mean, but deadlines get going, and like it really helps. He really helped Marvel get up there, and
that's awesome.
But the thing is, Jim Shooter's an interesting guy because he's always a guy who's always supporting artists and writers' creative liberties. Like he's always pitching it to the executives, but like the executives hate him because of that. Yeah, and his staff hates him because he's always pushing deadlines. You know what I'm saying? He's like
so he's hated from both parts.
Yeah, even though he's such an influential guy in comics.
That's awesome. I need to look into that. I'm not familiar with any of that.
Did you know he started writing comics when he was 14? He was a guy who was sick all the time, so he would just be in the hospital bed reading comic books. And then one day he was like, "I can write a comic book better than this." So he sends a script to DC, and head of DC was all like, "That was a pretty good script. Come up here and we'll interview you." And he's like, "I'm kind of 14 years old," and he's like, so the guys are like, "Well, when can we have you up?" "Well, my school ends in 2 months." And like, "Oh, then come up here in 2 months."
I love that they were so desperate that they're breaking labor laws.
Yeah, so he had to work for the first couple of years, he had to work at home writing scripts and sending them up there. And he's told stories about like every time the phone rang, I get anxiety because like my editor will be on the phone just yelling at me and just like, what is this? It's supposed to be like this and that. And then it wasn't
supposed to go ride bikes with my friends.
Yeah, he really hated it for a while until he moved up there to New York and actually worked around it. He's like, oh wait, he's not mean to me. He's mean to everybody. Yeah. So Jim Shooter's an interesting guy. So
hell yeah, dude. Well, next week we'll probably dive into. You want to do Bad Blood next week, or you just want to? Play
We should do something. Maybe we should do a deep dive on a Marvel book.
No, it's okay, Eric.
Maybe I should probably crack open that Vision book that you gave me a long time ago.
You still haven't read Tom King's Vision?
It was a weird history. It was a weird part when I was getting into comics, and you gave me some Marvel books, and I got some DC books, and I ended up just kept reading DC.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, fuck my friend and his interest. I don't give a shit.
Hey, what are we talking about? I'm reading Marvel stuff right now, but
that's because I make you for the podcast. And
let's read Vision.
No, Vision is really good. You'll love Vision, I think.
Okay.
It's Tom King. You're not gonna not love it, right?
Well, most of the stuff I like. We'll see if I like this one.
Think for the Vision book, imagine if Red Tornado decided to try and just have a normal family, but instead of having a normal family, he built one. He built other robots to be his family.
That's how it should be.
That's what the Vision book is. So he has like a little Vision kid and a little Vision daughter and a little Vision dog and a little Vision wife.
WandaVision loosely based off of that?
WandaVision is a blend of Tom King's Vision and House of M.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see. But it's good. And it kind of dives into his origin and his family tree and his relationship to Wanda and his relationship to being a hero and trying to be human. It's just really good. It's a really good cyborg trying to be human book. Or
I like
android
that.
trying to be human book.
I like it when like robots try to be human.
Yeah, because the whole point of the book is like he is, at the time, his job in the Avengers is liaison to the president.
Oh, Vision?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he moves to what's that town right outside of DC? Arlington?
I have no idea. Probably Arlington.
Yeah. He moves there.
But it's like Northern Virginia, right?
Yeah, he moves to Northern Virginia.
Hey,
he
Fairfax.
moves into a suburbs and he sends his kids to the local school. And
his little robot boy.
No, literally.
Kids.
That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. Like there's an issue where one of the kids gets in a fight at school and almost kills the other kid.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
And the principal brings in Vision and is like, this, I entertained this because you're an Avenger, but like, this is not okay. Like, you have death machines in my school.
That
and
is
then Vision,
really messed up.
Dude, read the comic. I don't want to spoil anymore.
I do.
So next week we'll tackle Vision then. I'll reread it. It's a good read. I've read it twice. I'll read it a third or fourth time. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't
care what you say, Eric. I'm going to read my books.
This is the cursing portion of the podcast. Turn it down so your parents can't hear you. Shit, piss, fuck,
poop,
tax evasion, fiddly wump, dumbly doop. Those are a couple planets.
Fanny, boombalati.
Why did they call her Mrs. Fanny? Well, we couldn't call her Mrs. Booty. No.
Well, thank you, Christian, for joining us once again.
Thank you. I'd love to be back anytime you would have me. I would love to be a guest host here again. Every time it's a treat. Today, you guys got me some complimentary
cheese balls.
Like mini cheese balls. Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day cheese balls.
This says two meter from creature. Did you take these out of his locker?
Just go ahead, eat them quick.
Dude, don't take things out of the creature's
Just hurry up
locker.
and eat them. Don't want him to see them.
Dude, if he hears me open these, he's gonna fucking pounce on me.
Oh shit, he's a tip.
Hide him. We gotta go. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Follow us on Spotify. Give us a like, share us, and we have a Discord now. Check out that. Oh, okay, he's here. We gotta get going. Bye.
Bye.